Word is that Sam Darnold's not getting franchise tagged from the Minnesota Vikings. And lots of ways to read this. Lots of ways to read this. What this means is, yes, the Vikings are possibly going to lose this kid because they have no way to guarantee keeping him without giving him the franchise tag, which would have been a $40 million one-year contract. And when you're franchise tagged, you can't even mess with the cap. It is what it is. That's what it is, and that's why a lot of teams don't really like franchise tagging people. And you can remove the tag once it's placed. But bottom line, the idea of, hey, Sam, we're going to franchise tag you and then maybe trade you, which is a rumor I heard at the Combine, is an option for the Vikings. That one would be particularly, I would think, bothersome for Sam. It's just like, if you're going to keep me and not really intend to keep me, and you're going to keep me just so you could keep me from the free agent market, sort of after the head coach said, when he was going around Radio Row at the Super Bowl, that they're willing, that Sam had earned the right to hit free agency, which a lot of people took to believe that the Vikings weren't interested in keeping him. It's just different ways to tell a player something to their face and back it up with actual action that, remarkably, in our world, actually works with people. Even if it's information they don't want to hear, people take that as a sign of respect. At least I do.
You want the truth.
Correct. And also, you want to have your ability to find another job if the one that you currently have with them is not suitable for you, or the manner in which they're willing to keep you is not to your liking, or you want to see what else is out there. It is a respectful way of saying, you go take a look, and then we can maybe come to terms. That's how Sam Bradford that's how Sam Darnold is potentially going into this. And that's how Matthew Stafford stayed with the Rams. I mean, at one point, it seemed to be dicey that that Stafford would leave the Rams. And now he's a Ram. So I'm not taking the idea that they're not franchise tagging him as a sign that they don't want him. And I'm not just saying that because one of the rumors I heard is that they do want him, and they want him for multiple years. And as I've mentioned to you, if these rumors wind up being wrong, I do not care. I'm just doing that segment once a year of trafficking in that sort of world.
Just stuff you heard.
Stuff that I heard, right? And I heard that they want to keep him, and for multiple years. And one way to do that is say, go find it if you want. And sure, we risk losing you, but via con Dios. And if he does go, then it's J.J. McCarthy time, and they will be in the mix of starting from scratch with a guy taking his first professional snap in a game that counts, coming off of a knee injury. And I'm sure the Vikings would love to hedge on that. It would make sense if they want to hedge on that. It's not an indication that they don't believe in J.J. McCarthy. They just want to hedge on it. And the great way to hedge would be with a guy who just won him 14 games last year. The problem is that guy wants more than just being a hedge. Mm-hmm. I think I'm laying it all out for you to say the one thing that I do take away from not franchise tagging him is that the Vikings would like to pay him on a multiple-year contract something less than $40 million a year. Because once you franchise tag him at $40 million a year and say, we want to keep you, well, then that's the floor, isn't it?
Yeah, you're not going less than that.
You know what I mean? Like you're exactly. Already making your $40 million.
Right.
You're not going to accept something for less just to get more years and security out of it. No, that's your floor. And I guess the Vikings would like to pay Darnold something less than that, and they're rolling the dice that the market will agree. Because who else will give Sam Darnold $40 million a year? The Giants just got rid of a quarterback who wound up being Sam Darnold's third string backup when paying him $40 million a year blew up in their face. Would the Giants do it? Again,
Seems like they're willing to go more than that for Matthew Stafford.
But Stafford is already some proven commodity who I think they're more familiar with.
True.
A body of work, and also somebody who I think might not have an issue with the New York market. That Sam, I don't know if Sam wants to run it back, same stadium, different uniform. I don't know.
I wouldn't if I was him.
Would the Titans want to do that? Hey, Sam, you want to come to Tennessee? And then the first overall pick becomes a little bit more up for grabs, and they've got Darnold to throw to Ridley and the rest of the Westbrook and Keeney, right? Who else? Would the Raiders want to pay Sam Darnold all that money? Would the Steelers want to pay Sam Darnold all that money? Because you take the Jets off the board, that's for darn sure. That ain't happening. As the Jets de-Rogers their entire roster. We'll talk about that later on. Who else? I don't know. Would the Saints want to pay Sam Darnold all that money? Because they got Derek Carr there still. Would Cleveland want to pay Sam Darnold all that money? I don't know. So the Vikings are saying maybe not. So let's come to terms on something less than right now. They now have a good week to figure that out. And if not, well, then hit the market and see what the market bears. So I'm not looking at this saying, well, he's gone. Certainly because, again, I heard at the Combine the Vikings like him a lot. Why not? What's not to like, other than the way that the season finished, which is not all him. And the coach of the year gets more runway to develop J.J. McCarthy, who, as we all know, is coming off of a knee injury and is still quite young, 21 years old. Mm-hmm. You can turn him into the next Jordan Love, which, as we all know, came with some growing pains for the Packers while Rodgers finished out his career there. And a lot of people were wondering if Brian Gutekunst knew what the hell he was doing, including the one who's talking right now. And sure enough, kind of worked out for that team, don't you think? We will see. So the headline. Only takeaway I'm saying right here is they're not willing to set the floor for a negotiation with Sam Darnold at $40 million. They also don't want to restrict his movement after they told him that they wouldn't. And there's time before the market will answer. When that window opens up, the don't call it tampering window opens up. So that's a conversation to be had there. Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.